You know, I think I saw when I was at the scstatehouse.net site and looking at some bio info about you, Tracy, I was amazed how many Legislator of the Year awards you've won. It seemed like every organization in the country had voted, I mean, you know, within the state had voted you Legislator of the Year. What's that like getting the, you gotten tired of being Legislator of the Year?
No, not at all.
I couldn't believe it. I'd never seen anything like that. It was line after line, organization after organization that have voted you Legislator of the Year.
I've had a lot of different interests, from real estate to home building to healthcare, that I've done a lot of work in, and
right.
And I'm grateful to have been recognized by many of those organizations in those areas for the work I've done. I really do work, if I can say so, very hard at doing what I do. The harder I work, the greater the benefit is for the people that I represent, and the greater benefit that I can bring back for the entire region.
Right.
And that's what I want to do. I don't want to waste time. I don't want to let grass grow under my feet. So I enjoy the work, and working hard at it has provided, I think, good results for our area.
When you talked about some of those groups, I also saw recently on the cover of the North Myrtle Beach Times and even the Myrtle Beach Herald, where you were highlighted from, I believe, a National Kidney Association,
sure was.
Which is pretty exciting, getting active in nonprofit groups on a statewide basis or even on a national level.
You know, when you look at the type of work that those groups do, and knowing that you're contributing to their success, it's a great feeling, and it's a great thing for me to participate and play a role in.
Right, Tracy. We got about 10 minutes. Break down for viewers, just to give them a sense of what, how the State House runs, or maybe even a typical day. Let's say a typical Wednesday.
Sure.
Is the State House an all year long? Are you up there in Columbia year round?
No, we're well, actually, sometimes we're there year round, whether it's for session or committee meetings, but the focus of the work is from January to June.
Okay.
Constitutionally, we have to be in session during those months, and we're there 3 days a week, sometimes a little bit more depending upon the circumstances. But a typical Wednesday, for instance, would be for the House, and the Senate runs on a little different calendar, but we will go in session at 10 o'clock that morning. Generally, we'll have a committee meeting or a subcommittee meeting 8:30 or 9 o'clock and get some business done before session. We go in at 10. We could be in, depending on the time of the year, to 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon or even later. But if there's a lot of committee work to be done, we try to break around 1 o'clock or so, grab a quick bite to eat, and then go back to our committees and finish up our work there, hopefully by 5 or 6 o'clock. But if there's a lot of floor time that is necessary, we'll stay on the floor to whatever hour of the evening in order to complete that business. So generally, whether I'm on the floor in committee, I'm busy as I can be from 8 or 8:30 in the morning on through the early evening.
Do many constituents from District 104 come to Columbia often to see you?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Really? Good.
Quite a bit. You've always got people, not only from 104 or Horry County, but from all over the state,
right, sure,
want to see you for any particular issue that concerns them. When you're on a committee or a subcommittee and you're dealing with any particular issue, you've got people from all over the state who have an interest in supporting what you're doing or changing what you're doing. So there are people to meet with all the time.
Of course, with that, being principally there half the year, and obviously, as you said, oftentimes during the entire year being up there, there's a lot that has to happen, and surely in affecting laws that will impact so many people. You know, when you think about that, you mentioned committees. For viewers who may not understand how that's broken down, there are certain, you're on which committees, for instance?
I'm on the House Ways and Means Committee. We've got 5 standing committees in the House that are broken up in a way where just about any issue that's presented has to go to one of those committees. The Senate has more committees, and each senator will serve on more committees than we do in the House. But Ways and Means, which I'm on, sets all tax policy, and the spending bills for the state originate there as well. So anything that deals with the taxation level of the state or any city or county, for that matter, has to come out of the Ways and Means Committee.
Is that right? Wow. How many House members would sit on the Ways and Means Committee?
25.
Is that right? So a very large group there.
Right. Yeah. by virtue of only having a few standing committees, we have larger committees.
Okay,
But
sure.
that's good because we have multiple subcommittees that break down the committee structure even further. So a bill regarding, let's say, driving a golf cart on the road, which is kind of a popular thing to do here. A bill filed with that would probably go to the House Judiciary Committee and then go to a special committee, subcommittee that deals with motor vehicle laws. So everything has a place that it goes to start out.
Right.
A bill, for instance, has to go to a subcommittee for a hearing. That's where a lot of the work is done. Major alterations are made there. It goes to the committee level for a formal presentation, and if it's passed, it goes on to the House floor for a vote. So you can generally get any issue up for debate if you have good reasoning and good logic to bring it up.
That's great. That's great. You think about so many aspects for you when you go backwards and imagine those early, you talked about obviously your father's service, even your brother's service. Was there something that really, someone that really inspired you early on, Tracy?
I'd have to say my father did.
Is that right?
Quite a bit, yeah. He was, as I said, he was the first mayor of North Myrtle Beach, and he had to do a lot to bring the four separate towns together.
Right.
And there wasn't a lot to work with either, but he took charge, knew what he needed to do, and got things done. And looking at what North Myrtle Beach has grown into today, I see the value in all of the work that he and many other people did at that time. So when I'm going to the House or Columbia on any given day, the thing I can think back upon from my father is that, will the work that I do today be as bountiful as the work he did many years from now?
Right.
That's a
right.
good inspiration.
Those are great. I mean, that would be a tremendous inspiration if you were think back on some of those early discussions with your dad when you first told him you were going to run for North Myrtle Beach City Council. That was probably a big deal back in '94.
Yeah, he was very supportive. Very much.
That's tremendous.
One thing, it's always been a family ordeal, and my wife and kids get real involved in the campaigns, and stressful at times, but largely they enjoy it. The kids really get a kick out of it.
Is that right?
Yeah, they have a lot of fun.
When your wife talked about that aspect, of course, of both she and your daughter being, hearing someone talking about you and your issues with education, what they claimed was not full support of education.
They get feisty.
To hear your wife talk about that, and obviously confronting that gentleman afterwards and saying, our daughter, our son is here with us, and please don't portray their father that way, particularly if he's not, and then laying out all those reasons why education has been the center for y'all.
In the future, they've got to watch out, as my daughter will go after him now. She's getting to that age where she knows what to do.
They're old enough now, they've begun to recognize in a greater fashion what their dads are doing on a regular basis.
Yeah, sure do. And they enjoy it and appreciate it, too.
Have they been up to see you much in Columbia?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Is that right? Yeah.
Quite a bit. They're fascinated by it, and their friends are, too. We bring a lot of school groups up during the year. Their classes have always come up.
Right, good.
It's always been a lot of fun to tell the kids what we do and how we do it, and break it down on a level where they can understand it.
Right.
And they're fascinated by the State House and the scenery and all that seems to be going on.
Seniority is a big issue in the both in the House and the Senate. Dick talked a little about that on Tuesday and a little bit yesterday. Why is seniority important?
Well, either body that you serve in, the longer you're there, doesn't necessarily translate into clout and influence. It's what you do while you're there. But if you hit the ground running from the first year that you're there, and you do your work and you gain respect and admiration, the more you're there, the harder you work in subsequent years, the more respect you're going to bring upon yourself and the issues that you focus on. So it means a lot for an area like ours, which we're not as big as Charleston or Greenville. The more seniority and respect that we gain through our work, the better off we are for our issues that we represent.
Tracy, think back, if you hadn't actually run for office that first time back in '94 for North Myrtle Beach City Council, obviously later then for the State House, what do you think you'd be doing? What do you think you'd find for that 6 months a year where it's full time and really traveling up there?
I don't know if I've ever thought about it that way. What I have thought about is if I stopped doing it, what would I do? And would I have a lot more free time on my hands? I don't think so. I'm driven to be involved in things and to be a part of change in the area for the better, I hope. So I guess if I had never run, I'd find other ways to be involved and be just as busy as I am now.
I'm sure. Those are great words. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina Peak with the Honorable Tracy Edge coming up next. How often do you meet somebody who grows up in a house and then many years later returns back to that house? And also those experiences of two brothers and a sister all within 1 mile radius there. Think about that. All close at hand, an older brother who's been an elected official more than 20 years, a father, the first mayor there of North Myrtle Beach. The experiences for Tracy growing up often in shadows like that, but knowing that he's making his mark and making a difference these days on his own, inspiring even his own children to get involved. Day in and day out, it's community servants. All this week we've had some tremendous folks, but think about those opportunities. 913-7795 if you want to give them a call to learn more about activities in District 104, about the House Ways and Means, about public service in general. Or of course you can go online to scstatehouse.net, scstatehouse.net, or even send them an email, te@schouse.org, te@schouse.org. Take the time to learn more. Community service is a big commitment. A lot of these folks that take the time out of their lives to drive to Columbia or to fly to Washington or even to show up there in the local city or town council meetings, they're making a difference every day.